Hello, this is Tiffany. I'm back here with another Substack, and I usually don't like to do disclaimers, but this one is pretty stream of consciousness-y. But let's get into it. So the working title is Today My Body Remembers, Antidepressants and Coping. Let's get into it. This Substack has been a live journal of the waning and waxing of feeling so lost and then feeling so clear and then having them overlap. Today, my body remembers what it felt like a year ago. 5 months into live streaming the Palestinian genocide, I just reread a few Substacks from last March, and oh baby, I had no idea what was coming. In my Substack titled My Body Feels Okay Today, that I wrote on March 12th, I wrote, I think in the last post, or maybe in the one before that, I described myself behaving manically because I'm going from 0 to 100, from coming back from a break and feeling super depressed and being in 3 direct actions in 1 week. Today, I want to extend acceptance that I don't always need to be grounded. Nothing is normal. I'm not normal. Maybe it's okay that I'm swinging back and forth, as long as I'm not harming people or myself for the most part. Along the way, all that matters. And then I wrote this thing about my head and my response. My head. What about long-term sustainability, like how you always preach? My response. Long-term? People are dying every day. There's no promise I will live past this day, month, year, let alone long-term. My head. Okay, but aren't you gonna burn out like next week? And what about your health? The stress is gonna really make you not make it into the long term. My response, fine. We won't do 3 direct actions next week. So pausing from reading my Substack, I felt a lot of things in reading what I wrote last March. And a lot of grief came up because I really admired and missed that thing I felt where it was like, I'm going to do all these things and there's so much energy and I was driven by rage and the momentum was really there. I mean, it was manic for sure and definitely very reactive, but there was almost this naiveness in it. And the way I miss it, I think that in hindsight, I have way more perspective and I'm a little bit wiser. It was interesting to remember what it felt like a year ago. And then in the Substack, I included a photo that was in that March 12th Substack post, and it's protesters lined up with bikes, and it's during a direct action and in front of cops. So back to the text. My body remembers. Some days I would feel so off and triggered, and then I would look at my calendar. It would remind me that a year ago, or 2 years ago, 5 years ago, something traumatic happened. The older I get, it compounds. My body remembers not only traumatic things that happened to me, but she remembers our collective trauma, significant moments where we were beat down. And I keep on wondering, how can I continue moving forward when every week and month and day feels like an anniversary for something horrific? I hate how resilient we, namely poor Black and brown people, have to be. I hate that it takes so much to keep on going, to survive under an empire that wants you exploited to the bone or dead. And preferably, it would be like they exploit you for everything, and then once you're not productive, they kill you. I hate how we can't be a tender, soft puddle all the time. Note, we need to make more space to be tender, soft puddles together. I've been on an antidepressant for the past 5 or so months, and I decided to start weaning off of it this past week. This morning, I laid in bed and felt a different kind of anxiety gnaw at me. And I can't tell if it's because I'm on a lower dose of meds or what. I also was freaked out that I have felt more tired the past few days than I normally do, even though I definitely have felt very tired being on the antidepressants. A few reasons why I'm trying to wean off the meds is because I'm curious what my baseline is. I have a suspicion that it has blunted my personality and has taken away my edge in a good and bad way. The good way, is that it has helped me regulate, especially in the beginning. The bad thing is that it might have also taken the edge of my personality that is so me. Not sure. Another reason is when things crumble even more and Medicare is taken away, I don't want to be reliant on medications. It's a privilege to be able to have this be a choice of mine, because a lot of people don't have the privilege of just not being on a medication or not having certain types of healthcare. That's another motivator of being as well as possible so that I can do my part in resistance. All that being said, I'm not sure how to cope with this very dark timeline, but I need to try. I have no idea how I'm going to pay my bills in the next few months, but I need to try. I have no idea how to keep stable in my mental, emotional, physical health, but I need to try. We need to try. This is a community effort in surviving. One way that has been helping me cope are taking care of my plant babies. I've been propagating them and giving them away to loved ones. Below are photos of some of my babies. And actually, since I'm doing this partly on video, maybe I'll get some footage of my plant babies. I included photos in the Substack. So for my ending question, what does liberatory imagination spark in me today? A future where we can be soft puddles, where tenderness is abundant and afforded to everyone, where vulnerability is respected and honored, where ingenuity and creativity isn't spent on how to survive, but on art, where leisure pace is just default, and where communion with the land is a common delight. Yeah, that's what I wrote for today. I'm sitting with a lot of grief today and just remembering what it felt like to be here a year ago, and also knowing what was to come in April, and then the next month, and the next month, and then into fall and into winter. So yeah, just sending a lot of compassion and softness to us in taking a pause to remember where we were and where we still are, and that the road ahead of us in resisting the empire is long. If God willing gives us the time and space to continue, we need to figure out how to metabolize and digest what we're witnessing and what we're experiencing in our lives. But we have to try. And that's something that I want to ground myself in, of like, yeah, let's try every day and do our best in resisting capitalism and white supremacy and the empire and colonialism, and learn how to integrate the things that are necessary about being human. We need to integrate rhythms of grief, rhythms of slowness, rhythm of recovery, rhythms of experiencing joy and creating and connecting with ourselves and each other. Yep, still not sure how to do all those things well, but trying. But anyways, thank you so much for listening or watching. More from me next time. Bye.